Hi, I'm Roger Mashad. At Franklin Templeton Investments, we believe that citizens need to be informed about the resources that can help make higher education more affordable. That's why we're proud to support programming produced by the Caucus Educational Corporation and their partners in public television.
Reversing childhood obesity, next on Caucus, New Jersey.
Funding for this edition of Caucus, New Jersey has been provided by Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital, the heart of academic medicine, the Russell Berry Foundation, Fedway Associates, Cohn Resnick, providing accounting, tax, and advisory services for more than 90 years, and by MD Advantage Insurance Company of New Jersey. Promotional support provided by the Star Ledger, powering NJ.com, and by NJ Biz, all business, all New Jersey.
Welcome to Caucus, New Jersey. I'm Steve Adubato. You know, childhood obesity has been on the rise for 3 decades in this nation. Programs throughout the tri-state region are beginning to finally make a difference. And here in the studio to discuss the impact that these programs are having on our children, we have Yael Lehmann, who is Executive Director of the Food Trust, Dwayne Proctor, Director of Childhood Obesity Programs at the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, David Burney, Chair of the Board at the Center for Active Design, and finally, Beth, Feehan, Director of the New Jersey Farm to School Network. I want to thank all of you for joining us, talking, if you will, Dwayne, about an ongoing issue that I know matters to the foundation a great deal, matters to people throughout this region, this nation, childhood obesity. First of all, why did the foundation get so involved in this, and what have we seen to date?
This is a problem that couldn't be ignored. Like you were saying, 3 decades of rising childhood obesity rates across the country. With that comes the idea that our children were starting to show up with adult diseases. They're having heart disease. They're having problems with overweight, having problems with type 2 diabetes, which until recently was called adult late onset diabetes. It was only after children started presenting with diabetes that they changed the name to suit the conditions that we're seeing now. And with all of this, if we continue to have these rising trends of childhood obesity, this generation of children will be the first generation of American kids to live sicker and die younger than the previous generation, meaning that the life expectancy of Americans would start to decrease, that the healthcare costs would continue to increase, that our national defense would suffer for not having able-bodied recruits to come into our military to defend our country. So it's not just a problem with our children as much as this was a national imperative that is impeding our ability to get to a culture of health in America.
An epidemic?
An epidemic for sure, and especially among some populations. Lower income children suffer more than others. Children who are African American, Latino American, Native American, Asian American, Pacific Islander, all seem to be in a worse condition than other children when you compare that. And knowing that many of these populations are the fastest growing populations in our country, that we're seeing a demographic shift. So that means that the populations that are growing fastest are also the ones who are growing sicker faster.
Now, Yael, your organization, the Food Trust, first of all, describe what it is.
The Food Trust is a nonprofit organization, and we're based in Philadelphia, but we do work throughout the country, and we strive to make healthy food available for everyone.
Okay, so the foundation, the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, focused heavily on certain urban communities across this nation. Correct. Philadelphia, one of the target areas.
Right.
Talk about what was the case before the initiative began. Then talk about what improvements, if any, have been made given the implementation of the initiative.
Well, Philly's a great story. Philly had one of the worst rates of childhood obesity of any city in the country. And there was an initiative that started there. Mayor Nutter really was the champion of the cause and started something called Get Healthy Philly. Get Healthy Philly. And what did it involve? It involved, you know, it had many, many partners involved, but it was everything from improving, you know, the streets so that people could be outside and more active, having school wellness councils where kids were figuring out how to make the schools healthier, having farmers markets in neighborhoods throughout the city, low-income areas.
Getting healthier food into schools.
That's right, in schools and in neighborhoods. And there was more than the food, there was also the exercise component. But we saw some remarkable results, and there was a 5% decrease in childhood obesity overall for kids, and then it was a 7% decrease for African American boys and 8% decrease for Latina girls.
Okay, devil's advocate. Someone says,
Okay.
wow, that's nice. That's nice. But shocking? I mean, astonishing? No. But that has to be put in perspective. That's the first
Right.
decrease in childhood obesity in a city of brotherly love.
In 30 years.
There it is.
In 30
Exactly.
years, and
Yeah.
one of the few cases where the disparities gap, where African Americans and Latinos, as you were saying,
Right.
were able to reap the benefits as well. When you look at some places where there's been decreases in childhood obesity, you don't see that. You see the disparities gap either stay the same or actually widen. And so Philadelphia was almost the first success story where we saw children from all walks of life benefiting from the changes.
So Dwayne, what does that
were
tell
made.
you? If it could be done, and sorry for interrupting, what does it tell you in Philadelphia? If you could see that success there, given the fact that there had been no reduction, 30 years.
Right.
Philadelphia is not New York, it's not Newark, it's not Camden, it's not Detroit, they're all different, but what does it tell you?
It tells you that you have to stick with it. You know, you can't initiate these policy changes, these environmental changes, and then walk away from them. You have to have long-standing commitment and political will to get the changes that we saw in Philadelphia.
And there's no one way to get at this. By the way, you'll see throughout this program that we're doing in cooperation with the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, you're going to see websites. One of the roles that we see ourselves having in public broadcasting is to be a conduit, connecting you to other organizations who do it every day. We're broadcasters, we disseminate information, but they do it every day. You'll see websites for not-for-profit organizations who are doing it every day. Log on, get more information, get yourself engaged. So I'm curious about this, Beth, Feehan. Your organization, New Jersey Farm to School Network, what is the work, and then how is that tied to the mission to deal with this epidemic of childhood obesity?
Well, we collaborate with partners in the state and nationally to promote farm-to-school work, which
How?
is basically connecting schools to local procurement practices, farmer cooperatives in New
You got to
Jersey.
back up. When you say local procurement practices,
For
it sounds a bit
produce.
jargony for folks.
We are
What
the
does
garden
that mean?
state. We are the garden state, and we still have quite a number of farms growing food. So farm to school, the basic tenet of farm to school is to bring more local food into schools, to teach children where real food comes from, to provide farm visits, to teach them about, you know, the growing of food.
Okay, more devil's advocate. Why has it been so hard to get kids, particularly in urban areas, in New Jersey and across the region, but New Jersey because that's our primary mission and mandate, why has it been so hard to get that information about the agricultural piece of the equation into schools?
Because
If we're the garden state.
you have siloed entities across the country, but also in New Jersey. New Jersey has almost 600 school districts that run themselves independently, so their food service programs are run through each school board and through each, you know, budget.
Would you be talking about home rule?
Yes. And yes.
Home rule sooner or later gets into every program. So each, you notice we're talking about childhood obesity and it winds up talking about home rule New Jersey, which is, it's around the country, but there's nothing like home rule in New Jersey. So each entity gets to make its own decisions about its own community, and there's 600, not just communities, but school districts, and they say, we will decide our own curriculum, we will decide what we do in our cafeteria, and the problem with that is,
well, there's no overarching emphasis. And New Jersey, Florida, and Texas are one of 3 states in the country that run their food service through the Department of Agriculture instead of the Department of Education. So you have a government entity that does have agriculture and local food in its sites, but you also have the Department of Education that runs the curriculum. And getting those 2 entities to work together, we've been working, you know, the Department of Agriculture has been working to promote breakfast in the classroom. There are different programs, but the basic tenet for Farm to School is local food in schools and school garden education, which teaches children about real food, gives them ownership for what grows in the ground. And then when you introduce good food into the school, they're more likely to eat it instead of throwing it out.
Before I leave this part of the discussion, any evidence of any progress with all the bureaucratic obstacles to date?
Yes, we've been at this for 6 years, and we are seeing an increase in school garden education, which lends itself to better eating habits in school, and we have counted a known 385 school gardens in the state.
385 school gardens in New Jersey,
Of
and the
varying
potential
sizes.
number of school gardens in New Jersey could be?
I don't know, 10,000 schools?
Yeah, I just want to put things in perspective.
Okay.
There's great growth potential, but we have made some progress.
Yes.
Okay. Can we shift to New York?
Please.
Okay, we're in New Jersey. We like to look across the river and learn,
We're partners. We're partners.
but you have great things to learn from us as well.
Indeed.
How about the Center for Active Design? David Burney, you're the chair of the board. What is the Center for Active Design, and how is its work connected to the battle to deal with the epidemic of childhood obesity?
Perfect question, yes. Well, the Center for Active Design was established by Mayor Bloomberg to work with architects and planners to focus on the built environment. And,
We should, sorry for interrupting, we should make it clear that as we do this program, there's a transition taking place
There is.
in the mayoralty in New York, and Mayor de Blasio will in fact be the mayor, so go ahead.
Yes, indeed. So a lot of architects and planners might think, well, you know, what does obesity, what do those issues have to do with me? And if you speak to epidemiologists, they talk about obesity as a sort of energy equation, in the sense that we take in too much energy with cheap fast food, and we don't expend enough energy because we lead such sedentary lifestyles. And of course, I'm an architect, and I admit, you know, architects and planners, we've been part of the problem. With the elevator and the escalator and the drive-in, everything, we lead a completely sedentary life. So the idea of the Center for Active Design is to promote active design guidelines for architects and planners.
For example?
For example, our cycling program in New York City, our change to complete streets, where the streets are shared by pedestrians and cyclists and motorists. One that focuses actually specifically on childhood obesity is our Safe Routes to School program.
Safe routes to
Safe
school.
Routes to School. And the idea here is, and it's very synergistic with the idea of pedestrian safety, is that when you leave your home, the route from your home to your school should be made a safer route by traffic calming, by neck downs, by pedestrian improvements, and so on. And that not only makes it safer, but it means that more children will walk to school. So then you get the walking school bus, where kids all get together, they walk together instead of being driven there by their parents' SUV. So they become mobile and they become healthier children. So these are not expensive interventions. These are
What about
relatively straightforward.
the stairway initiative? Our producers told me that where you
Stairways.
put the stairways, front and back, makes a big difference.
Yes, yes. Well, with the invention of the elevator, the staircase that used to be the sort of central place in most buildings got sort of relegated to the corners. Everybody takes the elevator. You can't even find the staircase in most cases. So we'd like to reverse that. We'd like to say in new buildings, and the architects love this because it's a huge design opportunity to build a grand staircase and bring the staircase back. And even in existing buildings, make the staircases accessible. You know, there's also a sort of business efficiency aspect here. The Times newspaper building in New York, for example, which is a 47-story building or something, you're not going to walk up 47 floors, but if you're on the 50th floor, or on the 40th floor, and you want to go to the 41st floor, you don't want to wait for the elevator. So they have connecting stairs between floors, which is a sort of business efficiency thing, because you can run up and down to see your
But I
editor
want to connect
quickly.
it back to kids, though, because
Yeah.
most of the kids we know are not hanging out in the New York Times building.
That's true.
But
there are
we
other
can-
examples.
But we can learn. Let's
Yeah.
go back.
Well, because you have a situation where we're talking about the 3 decades that it took to get into the obesity situation. 3 decades ago, 80% of children used to walk and bike and back and forth to school.
Say that again.
80% of children 3 decades ago used to ride their bikes or walk back and forth to school. Today, it's almost reversed, where 20% of children, and that's a high number, 20% of children would walk or bike back and forth to school. The majority of children today are chauffeured either by their parents, by a school bus. I mean, if you think about the day in the life of a child, they wake up in the morning, they go and they maybe have something for breakfast if they have that opportunity. They walk out their door. Someone or something comes and picks them up and takes them to a school where they go and sit again for hours. And then 3 years ago, they would have an unhealthy meal. Now, because of the Healthy Hunger Free Kids Act that's passed, we have healthier foods in our school cafeterias. And then you take the same child, you put them on a bus, you send them back home, and they're sedentary at the house.
see,
So the work
when-
you're doing to change communities is really helpful in keeping activity in the everyday life of a child.
When Dwayne and I were kids, we walked 7 miles to school through the snow. Didn't we?
Uphill, all the way,
You know?
all the way.
In our town, it's interesting, in our town, where I was telling you about our boys right now, as we do this program, our 7 and 9, and they have ride your bike to school day. Now, one of our boys, he knows which one he is, and the other one knows as well. One will ride, one won't. We've tried to embarrass the one who won't.
How come he doesn't want to?
Well, he can answer for himself.
Okay.
And the truth is, it is a chore to get, there's a few kids in the neighborhood who meet, and they do it, and one of the parents volunteers, and I've done it a few times, but some of the parents are so good about this, there's a parent who rides with them. They never ride on their own. So my point is, it's an organized effort.
Yeah.
So it's not like kids are getting together, hey, I'm just going to ride to school today. Point. And that's in a comfortable, relatively affluent suburban area. In an urban area, going back to where the problem is more difficult with childhood obesity, how much more difficult is it there to get kids to ride a bike? First of all, who even has a bike?
Yeah.
Whether they have a bike, whether they ride a bike, whether they feel it's safe,
Right.
you know,
Yeah,
whether
exactly.
their parents
Issues.
believe it's safe.
Exactly.
I got to
you
get
know.
my kid to school.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Riding bikes is not an option, at least in some places, but.
So are we looking for other kind of physical activity? So
Yeah.
are we saying, okay, that may work in certain places, may not in others. So let's talk about physical activities. Because we're making some progress on the nutrition and food piece, some progress. What specific physical activities are we promoting and making progress in? Because the obesity issue combines obviously nutrition and physical activity. Any progress?
I think a lot of gym teachers are changing gym class from competitive sports to life skills, you know, yoga, you know, exercise, tennis, things that children can take into their adulthood without them being, you know, a stickball game or a baseball game or something where there's competition involved. It's lifestyle exercise.
I also notice in gym class, I pick up the kids sit around too much. If
Yeah.
the game is not set up the right way,
Yep.
and it's very competitive, kids will sit around as opposed to be active.
Right.
The game sometimes is not a lot of exercise. And if the point of the game is to promote fitness and exercise,
Yeah.
anyway, it's a whole other
That's true.
story.
I'd like to see.
Well, please, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'd like to see a situation where we don't have to force people to go to the gym to be healthy. That in our everyday life, in our urban environment, it's a pleasure to walk somewhere. The sidewalks are more attractive. There's public transit. There are safe bike routes. There are safe routes to school. So that we just do it as part of our lifestyle.
In urban areas,
Even in suburban areas, there are many suburban areas where there aren't even any sidewalks. So if you want to walk somewhere, you can't. And if you're found walking
Yeah.
down the highway, you get picked up by the police. You know?
They think you're
And
crazy.
same for
We need
rural
to change
areas.
that.
You know,
Yeah.
rural
Same for
kids
rural
who
areas.
live a great distance from the nearest neighbor, who are on these long roads where big trucks are going up and down.
not-
You know,
yeah.
if there's no
Right.
sidewalk,
That's
if
true.
there's no way to, you know, and if the grocery store is 15 miles away, then you're dependent on convenience stores and corner stores for your foods. But for physical activity, just to go back for a second,
Yeah.
we got to look at that most schools don't have physical education.
Yeah.
You know, there are very few. Most schools don't have physical education. Most states in the United States do not mandate physical education anymore. These things were, we were growing up, we saw all this, and we think it still exists. It doesn't exist anymore. So I think there's only 2 states in the nation that mandate physical education, but even the physical education standards vary from state to state.
from the foundation's perspective, is that part of the childhood obesity initiative to change some of that?
We would love to see physical education back in schools, but that boulder is just so hard to move. If you're talking about 600 school districts here in New Jersey, when we're thinking about the nation, and so we're focusing on getting physical activity in the after-school time, you know, through the community supporting organizations, the youth supporting organizations, so that they can help
And by the way,
kids
let's be
active.
clear, the initiative is all over the place. Let's be clear, the targeted areas for the foundation are?
We have the entire nation as a jurisdiction, but we focus on the South, the Southeast, and Southwest of the country. We focus on urban areas where we've got reports of highest rates of childhood obesity epidemics, and we also focus on our territories and tribal nations as well.
We do.
We do, and but you know, we can't do it alone, and so we try to forge partnerships with other funders, with government agencies, with other influentials, in business and otherwise, to kind of help us come along and do the things that we need to see to help these kids
I'm going to
live
get
better.
2 minutes, if I can, on a couple of different things. What is the Double Bucks program?
Oh yeah, that's a really cool program.
Double Bucks program. Give me 1 minute on that. What is it?
Yeah.
It's for farmers markets.
Yeah, so it's a great concept, but so for example, at the Food Trust, we run about 25 farmers markets in low-income areas, and but people are doing this throughout the country, and the idea is how do you make it as affordable as possible? And actually, our farmers markets actually are pretty affordable, and we have a food stamp machine there, which helps. Right. But what happens is you give them a voucher, or these, what we call Philly food bucks in Philly, but they're called different things.
Philly food bucks.
And it's really great.
Cheesesteaks are not? No, I'm just clarifying.
You can't buy a cheesesteak.
Oh man, you
Philly
jumped
food
in
buck.
fast. They're not part of the nutritional curriculum.
Right. That's right. There's probably some version of a Philly cheesesteak out
the
there that's
healthier
healthy,
version,
but
yeah. Okay,
I
go
haven't
ahead.
seen it yet. But
Yeah, leave that alone.
But yeah, so basically for every $5 you spend, at least in the Philly version, for every $5 you spend on your food stamp card, your access card, you get $2 back.
Okay.
And so it increases your buying power by 40%. We saw food stamp sales, or SNAP sales, they're called now, increased by almost 400% in Philadelphia when we incorporated the
And
vouchers.
parental involvement and participation, which is obviously a key to all this. Where are we seeing some real progress here? What evidence do we have there's real progress?
Farmers markets. I founded a farmers market in West Windsor 10 years ago, and we've seen our participation, triple. And the families that come every week that bring their children, those children's DNA will be, thinking the rest of their life about farmers markets. It won't be a foreign entity. It means that they'll be used to shopping local. They'll be used to buying local produce. They'll be used to the array of beauty and color and selection, because obviously those parents are bringing that stuff home and cooking it. We have to get back to cooking.
Because right now they are not. Their DNA is
Well, we have
differently?
been a culture of prepared foods, and we're coming back from that, and we're going back into cooking classes. We're teaching children to cook. We're teaching parents to cook.
It's also about it's also about these food deserts where there's
Yeah.
a very
Deserts,
high
yeah.
correlation between childhood obesity and other forms of social inequity.
Sure.
These are often immigrant families, poor, there are no fresh food outlets. So what happens with the farmers market is a cheap, fast way to bring healthy produce
right.
into an area that doesn't have it right now.
In fact, in New Brunswick, we did one of the other programs we did in cooperation with the foundation was talking about the fact that one of the first supermarkets in New Brunswick came in. It was a really big
Oh
deal.
yeah, fresh grocer.
And
Yeah.
that's not such a big deal. And I grew up in Newark, and we have a Whole Foods coming in. It's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big
Like
deal.
I live in Montclair now, and there's a Whole Foods and another Whole Food 3 miles away. People take it for granted. In Newark, having a Whole Foods
It's a big deal.
is a big deal. Last topic I want to bring up. If you want to bring up something else, that's fine. A couple minutes we have left. Marketing to kids about food. Go.
This is big. If we could curb unhealthy food marketing to children, that may be the single biggest intervention to help reduce childhood
Make the case.
obesity. This is you have interventions in different schools, different jurisdictions, different cities, and that gets a catchment of that many children who are there. The amount of marketing of unhealthy food products that children see it's out of control.
For example?
Okay. If you watch any children's television network other than Disney, because Disney recently said that they're not going to carry any junk food ads.
PBS, we do not have sponsors. We have underwriters, and we do not promote unhealthy food.
I would disagree to some extent, where there's some children's programming.
You are aware where we are, right?
I am speaking truth. But I've seen Chuck E. Cheese is one of the underwriters.
Don't make me sorry I brought this up.
But well, to get to the point,
ahead,
though,
go ahead.
if you can,
Can we edit that part out? No, I'm only
get to
kidding.
that.
No, I'm only
Children
kidding.
across the nation see all these ads. If you could curb those unhealthy food ads from children across the nation will not see those ads. Okay, children, when they go through grocery stores, if you look at the height of a grocery cart and where you might sit a young 3-year-old in a grocery
That's
cart,
right.
and you go down that cereal aisle, what is that eye level for that child?
That's right.
And how many times have we seen parents arguing with their kids? The kid wants this, the parent wants that, and the kid usually wins. And some of the marketers have actually called this pester power. They want this. They want the pester power. They want to give that power to the kids. Pester power. So that kids pester their parents to get what they want to have. And so a lot of this is purposeful.
What are you trying to change? Minute left.
We'd love to see those ads. We'd love to see those ads relegated to other age groups so that they're not children. But many food companies are starting to reformulate their food so that they're not as unhealthy. You've got big fast food joints that are now starting to say, okay, we're not going to advertise sodas and other beverages with our kids' meals. So we're starting to see the change that's coming. And I think it's possible that we will see a reversal of this epidemic sometime soon.
Well, I will tell you that we have done several programs on this topic, and I've learned a lot each time, but more importantly, I have a feeling people watching have learned more, and hopefully we've made a difference. I want to thank you at the Foundation and all of you who have joined us today for making an important difference, a great public service. Thank you.
The preceding program has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence. N13 for WNET, NJTV, and WHYY. Funding for this edition of Caucus, New Jersey has been provided by Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital, the Russell Berry Foundation, Fedway Associates, Cone Resnick, and by MD Advantage Insurance Company of New Jersey. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. Caucus, New Jersey has been produced in partnership with TriStar Studios. This program has been made possible in part by PSE&G.
The eyes of the world will be on us when tens of thousands of people descend upon New Jersey for the 2014 Special Olympics USA Games.
What this event will do is to place an absolute spotlight on that which makes New Jersey the greatest, and that is the human spirit.
The Games will change the perception people have of individuals with intellectual disabilities, bring an influx of investment to New Jersey, and create a culture of acceptance in our communities. PSE&G, proud to support the 2014 Special Olympics USA Games.